How an entire hospital treated its workers. Smash that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell right now. This is a story about what real respect looks like and how one person's courage can teach everyone what matters. Understanding the context, hospital hierarchies and power dynamics. Before we tell you what happened in a military hospital, we need to understand something important about how hospitals worked, especially military hospitals. In hospitals, there's a hierarchy. At the top are the doctors. Doctors are highly educated. Doctors have years of training. Doctors have prestige and respect. Below doctors are nurses. Nurses also have training and education, but they're seen as lower in the hierarchy. Nurses take orders from doctors. Nurses do the physical, hands-on care. And in military hospitals, there's another dynamic. Military culture values hierarchy and rank. Officers are respected more than enlisted soldiers. Higher ranks are respected more than lower ranks. So in a military hospital, you have doctors who already have high status, and you might also have doctors who are officers, which gives them even more status. And then you have nurses who are lower in the hierarchy. And if a nurse is new, they're even lower. They're still learning. They're still proving themselves. In this environment, it's easy for doctors to disrespect nurses. It's easy for doctors to mock them, especially if they make mistakes or seem unsure. But not everyone accepts this hierarchy. Some people understand that respect should be given to everyone, regardless of their rank or status. The mocking. A new nurse was working at a military hospital. She was young. She was nervous. She was trying her best to learn and to do a good job. But the doctors weren't patient with her. The doctors were harsh. They mocked her in front of other staff members. They made comments about her mistakes. They made her feel small and incompetent. One day, as she was caring for a patient, a wounded captain who had been injured in combat, the doctors continued their mocking. They made jokes about her. They questioned her competence. They treated her with contempt. The wounded captain watched this happen. The captain had seen many things in his life. He had served his country. He had been injured for his country. He understood what respect meant. And he couldn't stay silent. The captain did something that shocked everyone. He raised his hand. And even though he was wounded, even though he was in pain, he raised his hand in a salute, a sign of respect and honor. He was saluting the nurse. And with that one gesture, everything changed. Why this hook works? The audience immediately feels the injustice. Doctors are mocking a new nurse. But then a wounded captain does something unexpected. He salutes the nurse. This is shocking and moving. It shows that someone sees the nurse's value even if the doctors don't. Everyone wants to know what happens next. The doctors at this military hospital were accomplished professionals. They had gone to medical school. They had trained for years. They had prestigious positions. But they had also absorbed the culture around them. They had absorbed the idea that they were superior to other people. They had absorbed the idea that rank and status mattered more than kindness. These particular doctors believed that being a doctor gave them the right to treat other people poorly. They believed that people below them in status deserved to be mocked. They believed that jokes at other people's expense were acceptable because of their high status. This was not all doctors. This was a particular group of doctors who had let their status go to their heads, who had forgotten that nursing is also a skilled profession, who had forgotten that everyone deserves respect. The new nurse was named Rachel. She was in her mid-20s. She had just graduated from nursing school. She was starting her first real job at this military hospital. Rachel was smart. She was caring. She wanted to help people. She wanted to be a good nurse. But she was also new. She didn't have experience yet. She made mistakes sometimes. She had to ask questions. She wasn't completely confident yet. This is normal for someone new to a job. Everyone goes through this. Everyone makes mistakes when they're learning. But Rachel was not being treated with understanding. She was being treated with mockery. The doctors were making her feel like she was incompetent. They were making her question whether she should even be a nurse. Rachel was devastated by how she was being treated. But she kept coming to work. She kept trying. She kept learning. The wounded captain. The captain was named James. He was in his 40s. He had served in the military for 20 years. He had been decorated for bravery. He had led men. He had seen combat. A few weeks ago, he had been wounded in combat. He had lost use of his right arm. He was struggling to accept this change in his life. He was in pain. He was in the hospital learning how to function with his new reality. But James was also a man of character. He was a man who understood what respect meant. He understood the importance of treating people well, regardless of their rank. James had noticed how the doctors were treating Rachel. He had noticed the mockery. He had noticed the disrespect. And he had made a decision. He was going to do something about it. Why this section matters. Now the audience understands the dynamics. The doctors are being disrespectful. Rachel is struggling but trying hard. The captain has the character to stand up for what's right. Everyone is positioned for what happens next. The moment. It happened on a morning when the doctors were doing their rounds. They were visiting each patient. Rachel was with them, helping to care for the patients. As they reached the captain's room, one of the doctors made a cruel joke about Rachel's performance. The other doctors laughed. They thought it was funny. Rachel's face flushed red. She looked down. She tried to ignore it, but she was clearly hurt. The captain was lying in his hospital bed. He could only move his left arm. But that's what he needed. He raised his left arm. With as much strength as he could muster, he raised it to his forehead in a formal military salute. Everyone stopped. Everyone turned to look at the captain. The captain was saluting Rachel. In military culture, a salute is a sign of respect and honor. It's one of the most formal signs of respect you can give. It's something you do for people of high rank. It's something you do for heroes. It's something you do for people you deeply respect. The captain was saluting a nurse. A new nurse. A nurse that the doctors were mocking. The meaning of the gesture, what the captain had done, was profound. He was saying, I respect this person. I honor this person. I see her value even if you don't. The captain was making a statement. He was using military tradition to show respect. He was using his position as a wounded military officer to elevate a nurse who was being disrespected. It was a powerful moment. It was a moment that said more than any words could say. The doctor's reaction, the doctors were shocked. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to respond to this gesture. One of the doctors tried to laugh it off. He made a joke trying to defuse the moment. But the other people in the room weren't laughing. The other nurses weren't laughing. The hospital staff weren't laughing. Everyone understood what had just happened. Everyone understood that the captain had just told these doctors that their behavior was wrong. Rachel's reaction. Rachel's eyes filled with tears. Not tears of sadness. Tears of validation. Tears of relief. Finally, someone had seen her. Finally, someone had respected her. Finally, someone had stood up for her. The captain's salute had said to Rachel, "You matter. Your work matters. You deserve respect." For Rachel, it was one of the most moving moments of her life. It was a moment when someone in a position of authority and respect had shown her that her value was real. The changed dynamic. After the captain's salute, something shifted in the hospital. The doctors realized that the captain didn't approve of how they were treating Rachel. The doctors realized that a respected military officer thought they were wrong. The doctors didn't suddenly become perfectly kind, but they became more respectful. They stopped the open mocking. They stopped the jokes at Rachel's expense. Other staff members also started to treat Rachel differently. They saw that the captain respected her, so they respected her too. The captain's message. Later that day, the captain asked to speak with the head of the hospital. He explained what had happened. He explained how the doctors were treating the new nurse. He explained that this behavior was unprofessional and disrespectful. The head of the hospital took the complaint seriously. The head of the hospital respected the captain. The captain had served his country with honor. The captain's words carried weight. The hospital administration held a meeting with the doctors. They explained that the treatment of nursing staff needed to improve. They explained that everyone deserves to be treated with respect, regardless of their rank or status. Rachel's development. With the mocking stopped, Rachel was able to focus on learning. She was able to develop her skills without the constant criticism and mockery. She became a better nurse. Her confidence grew. She realized that she was capable. She realized that her work was valuable. Within a few months, Rachel was one of the best nurses in the hospital. Other patients asked for her. Other staff members respected her. She became confident in her abilities. All of this happened because the captain had stood up for her. All of this happened because someone with respect and authority had taken her side. The captain's own healing, something else happened as well. The captain, in standing up for Rachel, had also helped himself heal. The captain had been struggling with his injury. He had been feeling like he couldn't do anything anymore. He had been feeling useless. But by standing up for Rachel, by using what he still could do, his voice, his authority, his respect, he had made a difference. He had helped someone. He had shown that even with his injury, he still mattered. He still had value. The captain's healing became physical and emotional. As he helped Rachel, he also helped himself. What the salute really meant. The captain's salute was more than just a gesture. It was a statement about respect. It was a statement that all people deserve honor, regardless of their status. The lesson about respect. One of the most important lessons from this story is that respect should not be based on rank or status. Respect should be based on character and effort. The doctors had high status, but the captain was showing that status doesn't determine whether someone deserves respect. Rachel was new. Rachel made mistakes, but she was trying hard. She was caring for people. She deserved respect. This teaches us that we should give respect to everyone who is doing their best, regardless of their position. The lesson about standing up. The captain could have stayed quiet. He could have said nothing. His injury gave him an excuse. He was in pain. He was struggling. But he spoke up. He used what respect and authority he had to help someone else. This teaches us that we have a responsibility to speak up when we see injustice. We don't need to be perfect. We don't need to be in a position of power. We just need to be willing to use our voice. The lesson about kindness from those in power. The doctors had power. They could have used their power to build Rachel up. They could have used their power to help her learn. They could have used their power to make her feel supported. Instead, they used their power to tear her down. They used their power to mock her. They used their power to make her feel small. The captain, on the other hand, used his limited power to build Rachel up. The captain used his respect to honor Rachel. This teaches us that we have a responsibility to use whatever power we have wisely. We should use our power to help people, not to hurt them. The lesson about recognition. Everyone needs to feel recognized. Everyone needs to feel like their work matters. Everyone needs to feel respected. The captain had given Rachel this gift. He had shown her that her work mattered. He had shown her that she deserved respect. This is something we should all do for each other. We should recognize each other's efforts. We should tell people when they're doing well. We should show respect. The question for you. This story asks each of us several questions. Do you respect people based on their status? Or do you respect people based on their character and effort? Do you speak up when you see someone being disrespected? Or do you stay quiet? Do you use whatever power you have to help people? Or do you use it to elevate yourself? Do you recognize the efforts of people around you? Do you tell them that their work matters? The broader impact. How one gesture changed a hospital. What the captain did didn't just help Rachel. It changed the culture of the hospital. Other nursing staff saw what the captain did. They saw that a respected officer was honoring nurses. So they started to honor nurses too. The doctors learned a lesson. They learned that their status didn't give them the right to disrespect other people. The message to the medical community. The story of the captain's salute spread through the hospital and beyond. Other hospitals heard about it. Medical professionals started to think about how they treated nursing staff. It wasn't a huge change, but it was meaningful. It was a reminder that doctors and nurses work together. They need to respect each other. Fire the modern relevance. In 2025, we still see this dynamic in hospitals. We still see doctors who disrespect nurses. We still see people in positions of power who treat people below them poorly. The story of the captain's salute teaches us that this needs to change. That everyone deserves respect. That kindness is more important than status. The challenge. In 2025, we need more people like the captain. We need more people who are willing to stand up for others. We need more people who use their respect and authority to help people who are being treated poorly. If you see someone being disrespected, speak up. Use your voice. Make it clear that the behavior is wrong. Final call to action. If this story moved you, if the captain's salute gave you chills, if it inspired you to respect everyone regardless of their status, then smash that like button right now. And subscribe. Turn on the notification bell. This channel is dedicated to stories about respect, dignity, and people standing up for what's right. There are more incredible stories coming that will inspire you to be better. In the comments below, tell us, have you seen someone stand up for someone else the way the captain did? Tell us about it. Tell us how it changed things. Or maybe you've been like Rachel. Someone stood up for you when you needed it. Tell us about that moment. Tell us how it changed you. Share your stories. Because the world needs to hear about moments of respect and kindness. The world needs to know that one person can change an entire situation. If you work in healthcare, know this: your work matters. Your effort matters. You deserve respect. Don't let anyone make you feel small or incompetent. And if you're someone in a position of power or respect, know this: use that power to help people. Use your respect to honor others. Use your voice to speak up for those who can't speak up for themselves. Thank you for watching this powerful story about respect, dignity, and how one salute changed everything. Thank you for understanding that everyone matters. Subscribe now and join a community of people who believe in respect, dignity, and standing up for what's right. See you in our next video.